I'm gonna play the music just because I don't want people to be missing the music. We gotta play the music for y'all. So we're
Okay.
gonna play the music real quick. Hey guys, we're not supposed to be here. Are we supposed to be here today, Terry?
We are here.
Oh, okay. It's like that TV show. That guy, he says, "I'm not even supposed to be here today," and he ends up getting called into work to open the store. I forget that movie. Darn it! It's the one that ends up creating.
Is that with Jack Black?
No, is it no, it's not Bill and Ted. Aw, I suck. Anyway, why did I do that? Jay and Silent Bob. So Jay and Silent Jay and Silent Bob were in that movie about the store, and we're not supposed to be here today. Complaining about it. I forget the movie.
Oh.
Oh, Clerks. That is it. That's the funniest. Did you ever watch that?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
Oh my God. Clerks. Clerks is so vulgar but funny. I'm so sorry, but it really was funny.
Oh, okay.
It was funny. And then Clerks goes on to become Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, okay.
I actually went to Comic-Con one time just to see these crazy people. And the guy, he didn't show up. So anyway, that was
okay.
Anyway, but it's so funny. I'm not supposed to be here today. I don't know why. Because I'm corny, I guess. I don't know. Well, we're live on Facebook and we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's out there? Tell me who's there. Tell me who's watching. We need to know.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here today. Kendrick. Kendrick doesn't let the button get cold at all.
So how are you? I can't join the chat because I don't know how to do it. But how are you, Kendrick? Because I have to go on YouTube and then I can't be on StreamYard.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I can't comment because it doesn't work for me. I have to sign out of StreamYard and be.
That is so wild.
Yeah. Well,
namaste. If you're here, let us know you're here. Today, Katie's video went live, and it was like 16 people watched it so far. But you know what, Kendrick, our channel is only at 697, and we need to get to 1,000. Anyway, so Katie was talking on there today.
They told us to wash it off and throw it in the trash. And I was like, this seems like a very important component if it's literally what's holding the DNA inside the nucleus of the cell. Like, well, it seems very important. So I was really frustrated that they told us to just trash the protein around it. And then we started sequencing DNA. And I remember they told us we could only read 3 to 5% of the DNA strand. And that other 95% they called junk DNA. And I was just like, these people don't know shit. I am not going to med school.
That was a cool interview, Terry.
It was very cool. She's a great. She's great.
I love her voice. It's
like,
oh my God, it's so powerful.
Yeah,
it's so powerful. Is Brandy? Are you out there? Somebody drop the comments. So anyway, we've had a whole conversation. We done talked about like sex, birth control, what is it? Sex ed in school. We done talked about all that stuff. Did you guys take sex ed in school? Do you have a choice when they give you that egg? And I was asking Terry, like, why would you do that to a 12-year-old in
Yeah.
class, like, especially in a mixed class in front of boys and girls?
Well,
Hey,
now I think they're even starting earlier. They're starting in kindergarten, I think.
no,
It's ridiculous.
to talk about the most stressful thing for children, like it's a joke that a kid passes out in class. My nephew is on the spectrum, and they showed the miracle of life in class. That should be like a rated, what it I definitely has to be. Let me see what the rating is for that.
Hmm.
So I don't know if anybody ever watched the Miracle of Life. Did I ever tell you about that, Terry, when I watched it?
Um,
A
no,
couple
tell
of
me
times.
anyway. Yeah, I think maybe, but when we had our sex video back a few years ago.
Oh, okay. So that movie came out in 1982.
Okay.
So the Miracle of Life, they literally go through the process of the sperm and the egg, and then they go through the process of showing you what the baby looks like in your stomach. And then they literally go through childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this picture right here messed me up.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to have a baby, and when I was like, I want to have a baby. And then I watched this video one day and I was like, I don't want a shrimp in my stomach. And I was like, I don't want to be pregnant. Like, I don't want an alien shrimp in my stomach. But it was too late. I already had the shrimp in there. I think I was talking to Rodika about that. Like,
Well,
I didn't want the shrimp in my stomach. But anyway, in that movie, though, they literally go through the woman's legs open, the baby crowning, and the baby coming out. Another traumatic time that I watched it, I was in Job Corps, and this guy had the remote control. And evidently, I was around the sickest dude ever. He put it forward and backwards. So the baby was going in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I had to leave the class because I could not believe this boy was doing this, especially for a guy. It just was weird. So in class, my autism spectrum nephew, they played that video, and my nephew stood up and yelled, murder. Like, he just said something like they didn't understand. They wanted to actually kick him out of school. But I was thinking to myself, who told you to show him that video?
yeah.
Like, all kids are not the same.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because our kids go to school and they learn this, whatever it is that someone decides to show them. Like, if your teacher decides to talk about their personal life. I mean, I do appreciate, in my ninth grade science teacher, he taught us about his herpes outbreak.
Oh.
So he had a cold sore and he was like, I want to tell you that I have herpes and I will have this disease for the rest of my life. But then he was, like, talking to us about it, which I was like, oh, all right. All right. Okay. Well, we need to be careful about herpes. I appreciated it. That was ninth grade. I was like, okay, so we know we can get diseases that don't ever go away. So that was cool. But I mean, I think it's a huge difference from watching a baby come out of the womb, because a lot of husbands can't watch it, right? A lot of dads can't watch it. So I just wonder why they would show that to somebody who, like a teenager, without your parents' permission. It was just weird. But anyway, those are my 3-4 traumatic stories about sex ed. But I'm just kind of wondering why they do it in middle school.
Yeah. Why does a 12-year-old need to know that?
Yeah.
Like telling them is enough. Do you need to see it? I never saw it when I was 12 years old. No, I saw the cat having kittens, so that was that was but like and if you growing up in the country and growing up on the farm, you see animals, absolutely. But you know what? As an adult, you can see those things. You don't need to do it. you don't need that.
Maybe that's
That's
one
my
of those
opinion.
backwards things for me or you. Maybe that's a backwards thing because I know I was reading about too how we keep our children as children too long. Like before they'd be working on the farm, and you'd go to work before you leave for school, and then you'd come back and you have a I
You
don't
have your
know.
chores. Yeah, you had your chores
And
on the
then you'd
farm.
be married by the time you were 17. I know I saw this thing on Facebook too. This boy was 18 and he put an ad out in the paper and he was really flexible about the age of wife that he wanted, but he'd already saved up and had all this land and stuff like that. But it was like an 18-year-old putting out for a wife and and so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know what everybody's supposed to do. I think we're always saying what everybody's supposed to do, but I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder what it's like, in other societies, in other planets.
Yeah. I remember my
Right?
neighbor was 16 and she had a baby on purpose, very much on purpose. It was not an accident, but
Yeah.
she lived her best life. Her boyfriend and her boyfriend was like still young, but they were young, but still they had a lot of support, property, all kinds of stuff. So it was like, woohoo, we four-wheeling. I'm 17, I got my baby and we're four-wheeling. But I think me and Terry too, we were kind of hitting on this before that by the time people turn 30, like the chance of you getting pregnant is like 40%. So a lot of people are having to find alternate ways to make babies by the time they're 30. So it's like, when should people be able to have babies? And when should we have babies? I think it's like now we're just so focused on work, money, and career. So it's
Those
different.
that ideal is something that most people have, but like you said, they get focused on work, money, and career. I can't afford this or whatever, and then they get to a point where, okay, I'm ready, but the body isn't ready anymore. I had several friends who, at the age of 40 years old, had decided that they hadn't found a spouse or a partner, and so they opted to have children, in vitro.
Yeah.
So they, but I had one friend who said, by the time I'm 50, she said, the only regret that I would have is not having had a child. And so this is what she did. She's probably, her daughter's now probably 8 or 9. So that's pretty, at age what? Age 20 is the chance. About 15%. Wow. Hmm. For 30, for at 5%, 1%. Wow. Interesting.
That's wild. I did not know that.
Hmm. Okay.
All these Because I think the first one is like keeping the gates open. Like the first one, open the gates.
Yeah.
And now once you open the gates, now you're more likely because I'm more. Anyway, this is not all about that. Anyway, it was just something we were talking about. This is something we were talking about because I didn't have my son till I was 32, and I was like, "Oh, thank you, God, we made it." And then
Yeah.
when it was time for him to pop out, I was like, "Please, God, I don't know how this baby's coming out, but I don't want it coming out of my hoo ha." So I was like, "Don't let her." Every time they sent me home from the hospital, I was like, "Ooh, thank you." Because I would have gladly kept him in there for the rest of my life. They
Okay.
don't give you a choice. Okay, so give us a general. Just wait a minute. I was gonna ask you like random questions.
Okay. Ask me random questions. Let's see
What's
what
a
we get.
random question? Um, what's going on with the sex in the collective? What is going on?
Oh, okay. I
Tell
guess
us
we're
something.
talking about sex tonight.
Let's talk about something sexy today.
Okay.
I've talked about it like all like the 30 minutes before the show.
Okay. Hey, so you were asking about sex in the collective. It's natural healing power.
Woo! Yes.
So I think that there's. I'm going to say that I'm going to make this statement. I think there's becoming an awareness that way that sex has been portrayed has been rather it has been very lustful, and it hasn't been about the true well, I just hold on a second. It hasn't been it has been about lust, and it has been sort of taken away from the natural part of that of sexuality.
I don't know what happened, Terry. You didn't hit a button, but you went quiet. And you're right, Kundalini. I put some cards for Terry the other day, and I was like, "Ooh, I feel this in my spine." Energy, movement.
Yeah, I'm buffering.
You got totally okay. So, but you're back now. You got totally frozen. So, if you do have a question, go ahead and ask. Sheena's watching, Sheena's watching. Lyndall's wife.
Oh, hi, Sheena.
I ain't seen you in a while, girl.
Yeah.
I hope you got some good things going on. If you're in the chat, let us know. And if you want to just get Terry to pull a card and you want to just ask a random question, let's just do it.
Yeah.
This is what we decided. We're just gonna ask random questions. I'm gonna play
with random questions. So
some makeup called The Culture, and I'm just gonna play with that.
Ooh,
and then
nice.
let you. It is. I like this little lady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with that and pretend. I don't know. We're having girls' night playtime. Or everybody can join.
Yeah.
It's nice to have boys at girls' night.
Yeah. And
and then when I get done playing with this, then it's time for bed. Because I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, I don't know who hung up on me. Somebody hung up. They hung up. Anyway, random questions. So this is our way to healing.
Yeah. I think it's healing at a collective level. There's been a lot of distortion about sex, and like a lot of degrading, like through pornography and everything. So I think, and I mean, what's going on in the schools now with the sex education, but I think it has to come out to that point where people are saying, wait a minute, that's enough of this. We need to have a much, we've got to heal this. This is a big issue around it. And hey, we can talk about, some of the, without really going into it, but, like we know that there's a lot of, with some of the dark energies, some of the stuff that's been going on, and people being used through MK Ultra and all that sort of thing. These things are going to come to the top. So, and I mean, they're coming up. They're starting to surface, and people are going to be kind of shocked. They're going to be extremely shocked with what's going on.
Go deeper with the cards, Terry, because now I'm wondering, because there's things we're healing from.
Right.
And then there's things we're doing for healing.
Mm-hmm.
So we might need to learn to do things in a loving, healing way.
Right. Okay, you know what?
Or are we trying to heal from those past experiences? But either way, it still seems like the same answer. We're doing it different now.
So, okay, I'm gonna pull from the inner child deck, because I think that one will give us some answers.
Dang, he said it heals everything within a block radius, so you can just blast out the energy. You know what? And that just, I don't know, talking about having some meaningful.
Okay, so let's see what are we healing from? Accept what is. The act of acceptance will bring peace. I'm gonna jump into this in a sense that there have been a lot of people who've been sexually abused as children, and a lot of them, I mean, I've worked with a lot, and a lot of them don't even recognize what's happened to them, and so they're starting to talk now. They're starting to heal that, and you can see, like in the society where I am, here in Canada where I am, has been a lot of sexual abuse within certain groups of people, and it's starting to, there's more and more talk about it, and what can be, how can it be, how can it be healed, and so many people who are victims feel ashamed, and that can go into any kinds of rapes and stuff like that. It's always the victim who is put down, and meanwhile it's a sickness within the society that accepts it, and it's about power and control, and who are used. It's the most vulnerable people who are being used. So women, children are being abused for power, and it's not only sex, but sex is being used in that way. So accepting what is the act of acceptance will bring peace. So if we understand where a lot of that is coming from, that's where the healing starts. And listen, your inner child has something to say. Um, and I know that, like some of the people that I've worked with, that inner child has been so damaged by the experience that they will, a lot of times they will leave the body so that they don't have to experience what they have. And run wild. Let your inner wild child run forth. So once that's accepted, then that's when the inner child can really come to its blossoming.
Hmm. Yeah, we need to just take a moment to take that in, because we need to just allow that to be, and just allow that to sink in and accept it and
Mhm.
move to that next phase. Yeah, I like that. Um, there was another question I had. Ooh, how can we improve relationships with the people around us?
Ooh.
I'm gonna just put out questions, you guys. If unless you got some questions for Terri,
We improve
Terri
relationships with
pulled some good cards for
people
folks.
around us.
Hmm.
Oh, I love these. How can we improve relationships with people around us? First of all, be present.
Mm.
Find clarity in the moment. Um, be present with the person, whoever you're with. Like, focus on that person instead of playing on the phone, answering a text message. Be present with the person you're with. Put your phone away, shut it off, and just communicate one on one with that person. Look them in the eyes, talk with them, be present with them. That's really what I noticed. Like, we grew up because we didn't have that. So you were talking with a person. Now people are not present when they're everywhere. It's interesting to observe where how people lack that one-on-one connection. So one
I
way
think
of doing that
too.
is go
Oh,
on an adventure. Today is the day to try something daring. So if you have someone really special in your life, do something unusual with them. Go on an adventure, go on a nature hike, go skydiving, go parasailing, go to the mountains, go to the lake. Just do something adventurous that is going to be out of your ordinary, like going for a coffee somewhere. If you never go for coffee, that's an adventure. But do
I
something
got one,
outdoors.
Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I got a frother today,
Oh, yes, you did.
and I made my son watch me froth milk, and I made my turmeric latte, and that was my adventure. I was like,
That was your adventure.
I was trying to get him excited about it, and he was looking at me like, okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
did drink the drink, and he did like it. I
yeah,
was like, look, I'm trying to do cool stuff.
yeah. Well, and the last one is you are enough. And you do not have to give more. A lot of times we feel that, oh, if I was only better at this, or if I was only this, but instead of accepting where we are and who we are now, that's important. It's important to realize that we are enough. So, hey, how do we improve our relationships? Be present, go on an adventure, and know that you're enough.
But I got one. Since we were talking about fairies and stuff like that, fairies and elementals,
Ah,
how do we connect with nature around us?
ooh, okay. How are we going to connect with nature around us?
When is the year for the I'm gonna ask Kendrick for because you said the indigo children, what are the and you're gonna let Kendrick answer it. The rainbow children or rainbow children are first or indigo children first, Kendrick? We gotta have Kendrick on here talking one day. And if you join, let us know in the chat. And if you have a question, let us know. Ha ha ha
Okay.
ha ha. Sheena. I like that.
I thought I shuffled these cards. I didn't. Hold on. Hold on here. Let's see about how are we connecting with the nature spirits? That's
Yes.
the question. I know. I have. Wait a second. I have a special deck for that.
Ooh.
Right? Where is it?
That's like they say. I got an app for that.
I do have an app for that.
Oh my gosh. My daughter gave our kitten Nia a foot rub and fell asleep like this. Oh my gosh, Aurora, that is so pretty. Look at Aurora's. I'm just gonna do this.
Okay.
Aurora's cat. It's so pretty. So her daughter gave the cat a foot rub
Aww.
and he fell asleep like this. Oh, my son would love that.
Aww. Isn't that cute?
That's like he just went into a coma. Like he's a
Yeah.
like ah.
So the deck I'm going to ask from is the Sacred Forest, since we want to connect.
Brayden, I knew I was about to say,
Hey,
Brayden,
Brayden.
where are you? What's going on? We're just kind of random today. And if you want to ask a question of the cards,
Yeah.
Terry's just pulling cards.
I'm pulling a card about how we're connecting with nature and the.
Well, you know everything Aurora does has to be blue, the blue fairy. I'm actually kind of mad, Brayden, because my hair is supposed to be blue. And the lady, she did not do what I asked her to do. So anyway, that would be my next question. How do you make sure that you get what you want? You know what I mean? Like you
Okay.
ask people to do things.
All right. So going back to that is ancient oak spirit strength. I think what we need to do with that is ground ourselves. We want to connect with nature, is grounding ourselves and just connecting with the earth. And we can send our roots down into the ground, but, even just feeling the ground, walking barefoot on the ground, first, like that's a good way to start, to connect with it. And feeling, putting yourself against a tree, like sitting with a tree, that's going to connect you. And when you sit with your back to a tree and you really allow yourself to feel it, you're going to feel the flow of the tree. It's like the sap running through the tree is their blood, is its blood. And when you sit with it, you become um, in resonance with the tree. The other way is through the starry night, is looking up at the stars, connecting with the stars at night, the moon, and that's sort of that acceptance, because we as humans are the connection between heaven and earth. And so when we recognize that, by looking in the heavens, but we're here on earth, we can bring that down into the earth. So it's it is a testament to the creative source when we acknowledge the sky and we acknowledge the earth. And then that will bring us, because we are born of the earth, we are of the earth element. Even though we may say that we're star seeds, our physical being is of the earth. Like when we die, we go back into the earth. So we're part of the earth. And so with that, we're breathing the earth. We're eating the dirt. We're eating the vegetables. And yes, never mind the chemicals and all that stuff. But even all those things are coming from the earth. So it is part of that cycle. And if we can remember that there is the heavens, but we're on the earth, we're part of the earth. So that's just accepting where we are. And the crystal cave of trust. And so another way you can do it is take a crystal in your hands and just feel the resonance of the crystal. And that will really help us to become present with our physical reality. Because a lot of times that's the problem with a lot of us, is we're wanting to be out in the stars and everything, but we forget that we're physical beings here. And so the crystals are really help us ground that information in.
I wonder, is the tree of life in that picture, is that an oak tree?
This is called the ancient oak spirit because oak trees live for so long. What is the tree of life? Is it Yggdrasil in the Norse mythology? I'm not sure that it's an oak tree, but it doesn't. It can be an oak tree.
Yeah, it's saying I don't know. It looks like something say it's an angel oak. So that's like the symbol of strength, resilience, endurance, longevity, wisdom, protection, security, growth, renewal, connection to the earth. So yeah, it does sound like it is an oak tree.
Yeah.
I mean, because this was the description of the strength, the symbolism of the oak tree is all those things.
I think one of the things we have to realize is we live in the northern hemisphere, and so we have oak trees abundant to us. But if you're living in a tropical forest, there's no oak trees there, right? So whatever tree is the most abundant and most sturdy is what we need to.
Well, you got to share. I know we can put saliva on seeds when we plant them, and you can talk to your property with urine and world trees come to mind. A world tree, and then too, because Braden said the trees are mean sometimes, but sometimes they are, because I think we take for granted that we can walk up to any tree and just be with it. And it's like, hey, introduce yourself and ask permission to talk, because
Well,
everybody doesn't want to talk. And then too, you got to slow yourself down, because they say when the trees talk, they talk really slow and they're very patient.
because
Very,
they can be very old.
yeah.
I saw yesterday was posted, maybe it was on Facebook, about a tree, a trembling aspen that was thousands of years old. It was a whole forest, but it started off as one tree, and all of the trees are genetically the same. So, and remembering too that when we see a tree with the big branches, um, it's 3 times as big in the root system going down into the earth. So that, and it has, and all the roots are connected. So, we want to talk in the quantum entanglement. The plants, the trees, the forests are all quantum entangled. And so, um, you don't even realize how they communicate amongst each other. So there's a lot that the trees, the knowledge that they have and what they've observed. And so I think about the trees from the Lord of the Rings and how they were moving and talking, right?
Mm. When he said the world tree, I ended up on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely look at this later. This is neat. Mm.
Mhm.
So that was the one that I had. Ooh, how do I? You know how to do this. How can I break free from patterns of self sabotage and step into that was
Okay, you're
ooh.
okay. Repeat that because it's buffering for me. Yeah, Brad. Yeah, exactly. The mycelium network.
Hey, out. Is it me or Terry going out?
It's me. Okay. 4-7. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I was waiting for you. Oh, you're waiting on
Okay,
me?
because I was buffering.
Oh
I
yeah.
was buffering.
How do you break the patterns and step into your powers? Break patterns. La, 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 la,
Okay.
la, 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 la. Break free from patterns and self sabotage and step into my power.
Okay.
I like the Wood Wide Web. I like
Yeah.
that Wood Wide Web. I like that tree movie. Did anybody watch Fantastic Fungi? I want to see that. It's on Netflix and
Okay.
it's not going to be on
Okay.
this.
This is hilarious. I've never
Right.
done this. Pulled 3 cards. Your first chakra, the second chakra, and the third chakra. How do you break free?
Wow. Get grounded. Wow. Okay. So get grounded. And then there's the sacral, right? And so, what are the words for the sacral? Gosh, I got my chart with me.
The solar plexus, the sacral, and then the root. Wow.
Gosh, where's my chart? My chart. So, mm, I had my words that you say. There are your for your chakras. your affirmations for your chakras. I'll just share this. Oh, you're there. There you go, Terri.
Sorry, I'm muted here. So, okay.
So there goes the
Okay, those are the affirmations that come in with them.
affirmations. So get
Okay.
into your root and let yourself know that I am worthy of respect. I
Mm-hmm.
am connected and grounded. I withstand obstacles of my life. I feel protected in this world. I am safe in the body. Let yourself know that one. I am safe in the body. I have a healthy body. I am healthy. And I belong here. I belong in this space. I am comfortable and I belong in my space. In the sacral, I am creative. So it's expression. Change is perfectly safe. I embrace my vibrant sexuality. I invite joy into my life. I am lovable and desirable. And it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to be a sexual being. And that's funny how we started the conversation with that. But in the solar plexus, I am a magnet for miracles. I'm powerful. So now the solar plexus is like radiating power. I am ambitious and capable. I have high self-esteem. And it's okay for me to feel good about myself. You know what I mean? I feel ready to face challenges. I am powerful and I'm courageous. And
Yeah,
it,
those are affirmations. Yeah, Kendrick, we do have 12, but you know what? It's just sort of that 7 that's accepted right now, and that's how we sort of just
but
go with that flow.
there's more than 12. You know what I
Yeah, there's
mean?
more than 12. I
There's
mean,
so much more than 12.
we've got
Like,
hundreds of them. We've got them in our
yeah,
hands, we've got them in our feet. So it's just sort of a generally accepted amount there
yeah.
that we do. So yeah.
Cause I heard there was like 76,000. So because when you start to connect, because your connection goes below you, 12 below you, and the 7 in you, and then there's 12 above you, and then there's just like you would have to study the Buddha Vista or something else to like
Well,
really,
and you know, we have so many layers of energetic bodies, and you know, like it's yeah.
yeah.
We
So
talk
you
about the
have,
axonal lines and stuff.
yeah, this is just the little nesting doll of your body that has those little 7 because you got your Earth star right below your feet. So some people
Yeah,
start with 0 and then
yeah.
yeah, so it's so many because people even say 12, but guess what? You can look up 17 and look and you'll find a chart that says 17, and then you'll find a chart that says 24, and then you start it's but then you'd have to actually like study Krishna
Mhm.
and all that stuff to see
Yeah.
like so many.
Hmm.
But
So
we
many.
just we basic
Mhm.
moonstones.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
anybody, oh, that's you. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, so thank you, thank you, thank you. We had fun.
Yeah. It's been great doing this.
We were just checking in. We're doing a temperature check.
Yeah.
Still hot, Terry.
It's hot. Yeah.
Still
Hot,
hot.
hot.
All right. So have a good night, everybody. We were just hanging out, having fun,
Yeah.
checking the pulse.
It
And
was
go
nice
back and
chatting
watch.
with you all. Nice to connect it in the evening.
Yeah. And go back to watch this video. Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Bye.